5:16 the time. Let's get over to Peyton and the all-important weekend forecast.
Well, Brandon, at least we're kicking off our Friday morning quiet here. It's just a little warm and muggy, as we have been all week long. I do have a little bit of rain in the forecast later this afternoon into the evening, so we'll be keeping an eye on that, especially if you have plans to be outside. But here's that quiet start, looking out over the West Bank towards the Irish Channel, uptown and into River Ridge and Harahan. There's a little haze as the humidity is high. Temperatures ranging from 73 in Slidell to, well, not a whole lot of range at all, to 73 in New Orleans. So we've got uniform temperatures with the high humidity. Here's what today's forecast looks like. Going to be quite warm, mid-80s out at Jazz Fest this afternoon. There's your chance of rain at 20% early on, but notice it actually increases slightly into this evening. So 6, 7, 8 p.m., you're out for dinner, you may have a couple showers and thunderstorms in the area. Here's what's happening. We've got two complexes of storms, one to the north of Dallas, one to the north of Jackson. Now, these storms themselves are probably not going to make it here, but there may be an outflow boundary left over from these, and as they do try to work their way down south, notice we see a couple storms in the region here as we go into the afternoon, but the bigger storms are to the north. So that's your low 20% chance of rain during the afternoon, but as we get into the evening, we may see a couple of these storms try to work their way in. It's not a guarantee. We're not expecting a complete washout here, but there may be an isolated shower later this afternoon into the evening. For the most part, I think there's going to be a lot more dry hours today than there will be stormy hours, and so many of us will probably stay on the dry side. So out of Jazz Fest, it's going to be warm in the mid-80s. Find some shade, drink plenty of water, have a good time. Looks about the same through the rest of the weekend. 86 today, 87 tomorrow, 88 on Sunday. Chance of rain does not look like a big deal for the festival grounds there, or the fairgrounds. And overall, it's just going to be hot in the upper 80s, feeling close to 90 degrees. Don't forget the sunscreen. I'd like to remind you our UV index is going to be hanging out around a 10. That's very high, so almost extreme. You can get a burn time in less than 10 to 20 minutes, depending on complexion. So sunscreen and, of course, the shade will help you out, too. Mississippi River, a surprise. It continues to rise here. It's not a surprise. We have been forecasting this, and things are still following along where the forecast continues to peak and crest around 16.9 feet on May 1st. It does look like it's going to hang out near flood stage well into early May, maybe even the second week of May. The Army Corps still has not made a recommendation, but it almost seems inevitable that they're going to have to start to open the spillway here as the river continues to rise as we head into the end of this month and early May. So maybe an isolated thunderstorm today, not a major problem. Tomorrow and Sunday, mostly dry, temperatures in the upper 80s. Look at next week, we're still flirting with record highs and temperatures near 90 degrees. And as we get ready to kick off May the 1st on next Thursday, I've got a couple storms in the forecast as we kick off second weekend of Jazz Fest. Our marine forecast, still no major problems here. Rain chances are low. Winds are not going to be significant. Even in the overnight hours, it'll be smooth. During the day, a light chop. High tide's going to happen later on this morning. It's happening about right now, whereas low tide is going to happen as we head into this evening.